do that now. All right. Well, good morning, good afternoon. Welcome everyone for our Zeek community call of this month. And I think we can just get started and then start with the updates. So I would like to ask Johanna if she would like to share updates from the Zeek LT side.
Sure. So the CLT had one meeting, I think, since we last had our community meeting. One of the things that the CLT talked about is the workshop that we had in Munich in February. We talked a little bit about the feedback that we got, which was first about the attendance. So there were about 45 people there, including the speakers. It was a mixed audience with a lot of new people, and it seemed like essentially all of the attendees that were not speakers were from Europe. We collected feedback from everyone who attended and got generally quite positive feedback. Actually, very positive feedback from everyone. So everyone seemed to like the event. Everyone was really happy about the talks, the training that was given. And there was nothing really negative in that. And yes, so that's what the LTA spent part of their time on. And I think I mentioned in a previous meeting that Corelight is currently hiring a community liaison that will spend a lot of time working for the Zeek project. And that's kind of the other part of the work that the Zeek LT did. So they talked a little bit about the hiring process and then mostly about a strategy of what the first topics that would be interesting for the community liaison to approach might be. So that was probably about half or more of that meeting, and it was just topics like what to do about what kind of meetings you might to organize in the future. Would it be worthwhile to spend some of their time on the web page and so on? So it was a bunch of detailed things. And I think that was everything that happened since the last time.
Awesome. Thanks, Johanna. And I think with that, I can hand it over to Christian for the open source side of the project updates.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you, Fatima. Thanks, Johanna. Yeah, sure. So good to be here again. I think I may have missed the last call, if I remember that correctly. So let's see. So there's a lot going on right now. We're entering the final stretch of 7.2 development. We are currently planning to fork RC1 or the release branch and then create RC1, I believe, on the 18th of March. So you basically have about a little over 2 weeks left for contributions to come in. And at that point, it'll be sort of our usual process where we basically ask the community to chew on the RC, especially the folks in our testing subgroup, and get feedback. And if everything goes well, then we'll give it a little over 2 weeks after that to actually produce the release itself. So if that goes okay, then we've sort of eyeballed, what would that be? I think May 8th, as the time of the actual 7.2 release. And in terms of the work that is going into the release, so most of the biggies have landed at this point. So this would be things like, the storage framework has been merged, which means that you basically now have the ability to pick from several available backends for persistent storage or for centralized storage in your cluster. We're shipping with an SQLite and a Redis backend by default, which should open up a lot of basically like new applications for things that need to be stored sort of outside of Zeek. Arne has been busy on more work on the pluggable cluster backend. So in particular, he's been working on shifting the WebSocket implementation out of Broker and into Zeek proper, so that we're no longer sort of reliant on Broker to provide that. And it has also been looking a little bit at ZeroMQ as our sort of one default other cluster backend that is in the code at this point, which is looking really good. So we're excited about that. but all of that will sort of, need a little bit of time to mature still. And for most of that stuff, there is no documentation in the tree yet, because as usual, we're going to be working on the documentation for these things sort of last. So if you're interested in this, soon is sort of the right time to start looking at that. And if you're used to, living in code, then you can look at it right now. Let's see what else sort of, there's been ongoing work on the spicy side on performance, Evan and Benjamin in particular, also Robin as usual. I didn't say, but most of the storage framework work is basically Tim's work. So he's really excited that that went in as well. Tim also created 2 point releases, so bug fix releases. This is, I think, 7.0. Oh, I would have to look. 6 and 7.1.1, I think. Those are pure bug fix releases. There are no security fixes in there. So if you're on those release trains, you should just sort of upgrade as a matter of course, and it shouldn't be a big deal. Johanna is in the room here and has also been working on 7.2 features, in particular around DPD. So that's exciting. If you want to if you're used to looking, or if you have to look at sort of the nitty-gritty details of an analyzer sort of confirm and violate, then things have changed there a little bit. So we encourage you to check the release notes when that comes out. Let's see if there's anything else. There's just a lot going on right now. Yeah, I don't think immediately, but so yeah. So if things go well, then around the time of the next community call, there will be a lot more to talk about 7.2. Maybe we can give you guys some demos at the time and so forth. Back to you, Fatima.
Awesome. That's pretty cool. I'm excited about the demos part. So thanks, Christian, for the updates. All right, I think that's pretty much it, what we had. Finally, I can give some updates on the training subgroup meetings. So we have announced that we will retire the bi-weekly every Friday training subgroup meeting that we used to host every Friday, 10 a.m. PST. And then what we have planned to do there is if we have any updates, or if people have asked any questions, or if people have any updates to give to the training subgroup, we will utilize the last 10-15 minutes of the community call, depending on how long the first half runs, for addressing or answering any questions, or just for open discussion for the Zeek community for the training subgroup. So we'll be utilizing that half, like we will literally be utilizing this half of the community call for those kind of discussions. So that was one of the decisions that we made. Other than that, I think, but there is one more update on the training part. We already have kind of like, well, not finalized yet, but we reached out to NSF Cybersecurity Summit again this year, and hopefully we will be having one full day training of at least introduction to Zeek and advanced Zeek scripting that usually Ashish does in conjunction with the NSF Cybersecurity Summit, which hopefully is going to happen in the last half of the year. It usually happens around the timeframe of October. So we'll keep you guys posted regarding when exactly it's going to happen, whenever Zeek training will be happening this year at NSF Summit, and then it's kind of like we can go from there. With that, I think I don't have any other updates on the training front, unless I'm missing something. And Christian can remind me if I'm missing anything there. Uh, all right, so with that, I think we are pretty much done with the updates. Again, if you guys have any questions regarding any of the updates that we have shared, or regarding any of the subgroups that we run, training, testing, even like if you have questions for Zeek LT, please reach out to us on Slack and we'll be happy to answer the questions. We all hang out there. And you can find the Zeek Slack channel details on zeek.org if you go there, and then look for the community engagement part, and how to connect with Zeek team. So with that, if there are no other questions, then happy Wednesday, and I'll hopefully see you guys in our next community call, hopefully next month, Wednesday. All right. Well, thank you so much, guys, for joining, and take care. Have a good day later.